Oh my God. Excuse me. Is Joe homophobic? I don't think so, but we'll get into that later. First, let's start off. Day 28, Sunday. The Void bullshit is all done. Thank God they're done with the Void stuff. It was getting on my nerves. So today is nomination day. We start out with Ellie going into the diary room, and she's talking about how, she thinks she feels like the queen because Kieran and Joe and Tom are like all trying to protect her from Sam, and she feels like she's like a queen and all this shit. And then Sue and Raph are talking in the dungeon bedroom or whatever, and they're talking about Tom, and Sue's like, Tom cannot take any kind of criticism. Anything you say to him, he takes it the wrong way. Even if you disagree with something he says, he's going to take it as a criticism towards him. And she's like, or no, Raph is like, he's 65% teenager. And then Sue was like, yeah, 65% teenager, 20% kid, and 10 or 15% adult. And then everyone's out in the garden, and like Izzy and everybody are laying down out in the garden, and Ellie is like, Izzy, have you been doing squats? Your butt looks like really big. It looks really plump. But, unbeknownst to her, Izzy had put this little like butt implant chicken cutlet thing in her butt to make it look like she had a big butt. She's like, yeah, I've just been doing squats. Like, you should do squats with me, girl. You can get that big old fat booty just like me. And then Charlotte, she starts talking about her bush on her vagina, talking about how she needs to shave. Like, apparently her razor's going to get clogged up because of all the hair down there. She hasn't shaved in so long or whatever. And she's like, the bulge on my fucking panties right now is bigger than my tits. You can punch me in my fanny right now and I wouldn't even feel it because there's so much hair down there. Then we get to the nominations, which is like the main thing of the episode. And thank you, Big Brother Gods. It was a public nomination. Everyone got to see everyone else's nominations. Thank you. I have been waiting for this all season long. As soon as Big Brother said this, Raph's face looked he looked so shook. He was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. So the first person we see is Hannah. She nominates Tom, and her reasons are, Tom, I've always liked Tom, she says, I've always liked Tom, but Tom didn't like me until Savannah and Lowton basically got evicted. And now Tom wants to be my friend, and he wants to be me and Deborah's friend all of a sudden. And I think that's fake, and that's why I'm nominating Tom. Her second nomination is for Charlotte. Then Sam goes, and he also nominates Charlotte for the reasons that Charlotte was the one telling Ellie to stay away from Sam, which she was. She was telling Ellie to stay away from Sam. And I guess Sam found out about that, and that's why he's nominating Charlotte. The second person Sam nominates is Deborah. He feels that Deborah gives him the cold shoulder. He doesn't really try to make an effort with him as much as like her sister Hannah and like other people in the house. Apparently she doesn't try to make an effort with him. The next person that nominates is Ellie, and she nominates Raph. She nominates Raph because of her time in the Void yesterday or the day before or whatever it was. Simone was telling her, Raph is not really liked by the public. They all think he's two-faced, and he's a game player. And so that's why Ellie nominates Raph. She thinks he's two-faced. She also nominates Hannah. She says that she is selfish and she doesn't listen. Simone goes next, and she nominates Hannah. She said that she's loud and that her mood changes. She also nominates Raph. Because of kind of the same thing, the gameplay thing, game player, blah, blah, blah. And then Raph makes a comment. He goes, well, I felt bad about my second nomination, but now not so much. I don't really feel bad anymore. So we see why. Raph's first nomination is for Joe. He says that he doesn't like Joe. Well, he doesn't say that, but basically, that's why he nominates Joe. He doesn't like Joe. If Joe were to be nominating, he would nominate Raph. They just don't like each other, whatever. The second person is for Ellie. He says that Ellie talks about sex all the time, and that's not really like a topic that he's interested in talking about all the time. True enough, fair enough. And then he's fucking reads her for filth. He says that Ellie is boy crazy. And I was like, oh shit. She kind of is. I hadn't even thought about that until he said that. And I was like, damn, Ellie is. She like needs male companionship all the time. She's boy crazy. And then he goes, oh, I'm sorry, Ellie. I felt really bad about that. I'm sorry, Ellie. Right after he said that. Then Andrew goes next. He nominates Joe. Andrew just doesn't like Joe because Raph doesn't like Joe, but we'll get into that later. Trust me. We're going to get into it. Oh, and he also nominates Tom because he thinks Tom is a follower. He is, true. Yes, yes, yes. Deborah goes next, and she also nominates Tom. She says that he is all about himself, and if the conversation or if the topic is not about Tom, then Tom is not interested. She says that he is malicious, and he's done malicious things in the house, but people just seem to forget it. Oh, the next person Deborah nominates is Joe. She says that he brings a negative aspect to the house, and he has his favorites and only hangs out with his favorite people. He doesn't really try to get to know anyone else. Sue goes next, and she nominates Charlotte. She says that she isn't really engaged in the task, the one they did with the void, with the buzzer and the podium stuff. She wasn't really engaged in the task, and she wasn't entertaining, so that's why Sue nominates Charlotte. She also nominates Tom, and she says that Tom is basically kissing her ass, and that he's playing up to her, and I mean, she just goes in. She's like, he might as well be the tail, hanging from my ass and just kissing my ass every time I walk. And then Tom gets a little disgruntled. He's a little upset. And, he's like wanting an explanation. And Sue is like, does anyone else need an explanation or is it just Tom? I was like, damn, Sue, damn, girl. So basically, Charlotte got 3 votes. Deborah got 1. Hannah got 1. Raph got 2. Joe got 3. And Tom got 4. So Charlotte, Joe, and Tom are all going to be up. If Raph would have got one more nomination, Raph would have been up for eviction. Just saying. So they start explaining to each other, why they all voted for each other, and they're all trying to be, apologetic and like give their reasons to why they all nominate each other. And then Sue goes and she starts talking to Raph in the dungeon exile bedroom, and she's like, don't pay them no mind. Don't listen to them when they're all talking about this game playing shit. She says, I hate this crap. I HATE this CRAP. I don't know why she had to spell everything out. But she says, I hate this crap. All this talk about, oh, he's playing a game. He's playing a game. Everybody in this house is playing a game, she says. She says, everyone came into this house to play this game. Otherwise, they wouldn't be up in here, which is true. Everyone has like a strategy. But there's a difference between being a game player or whatever and like just completely fucking selling your soul to the devil to win the show. There's a difference. And I think Raph kind of walks that line. I really do.
I'm really good at turning people against each other without them knowing that I'm the one who's doing it. I have a very like friendly and cute face, and I use that to my advantage.
Anyway, apparently Raph says that Kieran has never seen an episode of Big Brother before, ever in his whole life. Now, do we believe that? I damn sure don't. Like, how are you going to go on a show and once you get the like, okay call, okay, you're going to be on the show, I would go and fucking like watch as much seasons as I could. You know what I mean? And like, that's bullshit. He's never seen an episode of Big Brother. Kieran, please. So when all the nomination stuff was going down and everybody was on the couch, Joe was like, look, I got 3 nominations. I don't want to hear anyone coming to me saying they're sorry, and I don't want to hear anyone's reason for nominating me. Like, it is what it is. You nominated me. It's all good. So what does Andrew do? He fucking goes to Joe, and he starts trying to explain himself to why he nominated Joe. And Joe's like, not really trying to hear it. Andrew goes, that was just my opinion at the time. I'm not a malicious person. That was just my opinion at the time. That's just your opinion at the time? I don't know if I believe that as like an excuse. Then Andrew's like, you really have to dig deep in the diary room to give reasons to why why you want to nominate the person you want to nominate. And Joe's like, I've been in this house for 28 days. Like, I know exactly if I were to nominate someone, who I would nominate and why, basically. And Andrew's been in the house for 3 days. And Andrew came in that house with an opinion already about Joe. He did. He's been watching just like I've been watching, just like everyone who's been watching this season of Big Brother. He has an opinion about Joe. So Andrew came in that house with an opinion about Joe, and he was like, he had his target, he had his, his gaze set on Joe for like enemy number one. Do you know what I mean? So this whole talk about Andrew saying, "Oh well, my opinion. The reason I nominated you is my opinion based off of my time in the House." No, your opinion about Joe, the reason you put Joe up has nothing to do with him in the House now. You've been already had an opinion about Joe. You've been already wanting to put Joe up. Just be straight up. Like if that's the real tea, just be straight up, So then Ellie and Raph are out in the like living room or something, and they're talking about basically why Ellie nominated Raph. And she says, it's because of my time yesterday in the void with Simone, and she was saying how you were looking from the public's point of view, and that's why I nominated you, and blah 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 blah. And Raph the whole time was just like, yeah, 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 totally, yeah, yeah. I don't think you're fake either. Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah. It's like, Raph is not buying nothing that Ellie is saying. And Ellie, because she's lying, and then Raph tried to tell a lie. He was like, I feel like I have a great relationship with you, to Ellie. Really? Because y'all never, ever fucking hang out. So they were just both bullshitting each other. Ellie was trying to bullshit to Raph, and Raph was just bullshitting right back to Ellie. You know what I mean? So then we cut to the scene where Chanel is talking to Deborah and like Isabel out in the living room. And Chanel's like, "Oh man, I make so much money off of this dude on the outside." They're like, "How?" She's like, I just treat him like shit, basically, and he pays me all this money." And Isabel goes, "Oh, that's the thing. It's called a pain pig." And she was telling a story about how one time she was out with like her mom or her grandma or something, trying to get drinks. And I guess she called him up and was like, "Look, obviously I'm better than you. You're a piece of shit. Send me 300 fucking pounds right now." And he sent her the money. I was like, damn, can I have that job? I can talk to some shit to some guys, just pay me all day to talk shit to them? Hell yeah. So then we cut to the Rose Cottage bedroom, aka the clique bedroom, the nice bedroom, the upstairs bedroom. And the girls are discussing masturbation and stuff. And Deborah's like, "I've never masturbated before." But I believe her though when she said. For some reason, I believe her when she said that. And Charlotte is like, "What? Wait, you've never masturbated before? What the fuck?" And Kieran pops up and he's like,
I love about this house. I'm letting so much of girls.
She's like, "Yeah, I've never masturbated before. The only time I stuck my fingers up there was when I'm trying to get a tampon in and out." And then the whole time I was thinking, you've never masturbated before, but a couple weeks ago, you said you had your clit pierced 4 times. And then, sure enough, Simone says, she starts talking about clit piercings. And I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what I was just thinking. And then Charlotte says something. And then Deborah whispers over to Charlotte, like, "I have my clit pierced." And then Charlotte acted so surprised. But I was like, you already knew that. Deborah already has told all the girls in that, well, a majority of the girls in the house in this one scene a couple weeks ago.
Have you ever had your fanny pierced?
I can't say on camera. No.
Don't look at mine. She went. I went and she went.
Have you had your clit pierced before?
4 times.
They already know that. Charlotte already knows that. I don't know why she's acting brand new and acting like she doesn't remember that Deborah. You don't forget that kind of shit. And Kieran's like, all fucking about to like jizz in his pants over there. and I'm like, Kieran, he probably knows too. As soon as Deborah told all of them about her clit piercings, I'm sure they all went and told everyone in the house about the clit piercing. So I don't know why they're all acting like this is new information for them. They already know this. So Monday, day 29. The housemates have been sleeping for 15 minutes past the time that they're supposed to be asleep. Big Brother fucking puts on this annoying ass alarm that was like so annoying to me watching it. So I can't even imagine like being in there and hearing that shit. And Big Brother's like, they will be punished later. Stay tuned. So Deborah goes in the diary room and she's talking about Sam and Ellie. Just talking about them, like y'all only know each other for 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and y'all are like all over each other, making out with each other. She's doing this weird like Nigerian African accent thing, and she's like, "I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't get it." I'm like, okay, I don't get it either, girl. Hannah starts talking about how Simone is a game player, and I'm like, I don't know if Simone has enough like brains to be a game player. I really don't think she's a game player. She was trying to say that how Simone was trying to get Ellie and Raph to not be on the same side or something because of the final or some shit. I'm like, Simone isn't thinking that far ahead, honey. Simone's only mission in the house is to get fucking fucked up every night and get drunk every night. She ain't worried about no game plan. Are you kidding? So then Big Brother comes on and he starts to explain to everyone how over the next few days you will be exposed to perilous, awkward, and unnerving situations. This is the start of the task for the week or whatever. So Ellie and Sam go into the survival room and they get a spray tan, but it's not just any spray tan. It's like a really colorful spray tan. Ellie gets painted blue like a fucking Smurf. And Sam gets painted green like Shrek or the Hulk. Or who else is green? I don't know who else is green. Either the Shrek or the Hulk or whatever. So they walk out. They go in there, get tanned, and they walk out into the living room. And Hannah is just like freaking out. She's like just acting a fucking fool because she sees Ellie. She's only freaking out about Ellie. She's not freaking about over Sam's green paint. She's only freaking about Ellie because she's painted blue. And she's like scared for her life. And I'm like, girl, calm down. She's totally fake. This is like totally fake. She's totally faking it. But it was just weird. It's like, you're scared of the color blue, or you're scared of Smurfs, or you're scared of body paint. Like what? Which part of it scares you? I don't fucking understand it. So then Big Brother gathers them all in the couch again, and this time Big Brother tells them, y'all have been fucking up about the rules. Y'all slept 15 minutes past the alarm, or 15 minutes past when the lights came on. Y'all were talking about nomination stuff outside of the void, and when Big Brother clearly said, what happens in the void stays in the void, and they were all talking about, I mean, if you're going to do open nominations, public nominations, then no shit they're going to talk about what they talked about in the void. It's all part of it. It's all together. So I felt like they could have got away with it that time, but Big Brother was like, no, you're not going to get away with it. And because Tom constantly keeps his fucking glasses on in the house, and Big Brother, I guess, warned him like to take your glasses off. We didn't see any warnings about it, but apparently, it happened that Big Brother warned him several times to take his glasses off, his sunglasses off in the house, and he just kept wearing them. So they're all being punished. Thank God. Thank you. I like a little cold water and a little no electricity going on. So that's what happens. They get the water turned off, or they get the hot water turned off, no electricity, and they cannot use any fake tan products for the next however many days or whatever. And Isabel was like looking sad, and I'm like, oh, poor Isabel. She probably didn't even break any of the rules, but that's how it goes, So then we get to the second part of the task. It's basically Fear Factor. Tom, Deborah, Charlotte, and Andrew all go into the survival room, and they have to stand there behind a podium. And the first person to press their buzzer, well, if any of them presses the buzzer, I think they just lose. So they have to stand there in this dark room. There's like a box of snakes across from them, and like a box of tarantulas across from them. And they have to stand there in the dark and just get rained on by like dead maggots and dead worms and dead cockroaches and dead bugs. And it's like, Deborah is not having it. Deborah is screaming at the top of her lungs. Andrew's not having it. I mean, if you want to get a little bit of entertainment, just put the black girl and the gay guy in the room with the bugs. You know what I mean? They're going to be screaming for their life trying to get out of there. So that's what they were doing. It was kind of funny, blah, blah, blah. Nobody hits the button, so they pass that part of the task. Then there's a quick moment when Sam goes into the diary room, and Big Brother asks him if there's another girl in the house that he fancies. And he's like, oh, I'm not going to say that, Big Brother. I will not say that. And I was like, who is it, Chanel? Like, I didn't know at the time who it was. But apparently it was Isabel. He likes Isabel, apparently, too, as well as Ellie. So part 3 of the task comes up. Chanel, Isabel, and Hannah and Joe all have to listen to what the panel on bots had been saying about them the night before. No, it was live. It was a live thing. So, whatever. Chanel, Joe, Isabel, and Hannah all have to sit there and like take critiques from whoever the panel was that night on bots. And basically, they just all had to hear like negative critiques about him from that one guy, that one fat guy. And I'm calling him fat. I'm being nasty on purpose because he seems like a fucking asshole. He seems like a wannabe Perez Hilton. He called Hannah aggressive, nasty, and horrible, and said that she needs to be stripped of her Miss Nigeria UK title. Why? Because she sings fucking loud in the house? Like, why? What has Hannah ever done to anybody in that fucking house except sing? I can see maybe if he would have said that about Deborah, because Deborah is the one who was like about to fucking knock Ellie out. I can see that about her, calling her aggressive, but what the fuck has Hannah ever done? I really genuinely can't remember. If you're watching this and you remember, leave a comment. Please tell me, like, refresh my memory. But I can't remember when Hannah was aggressive. And what has she done to get her title stripped away from her? What the fuck? That guy's a fucking asshole, his fat ass. His ass got fat. I forgot his name, but he's been on bots like years ago. He got fat. Anyway, so Big Brother makes them play a game. You know how Big Brother keeps making them play these fucking games because they're probably not. They probably wouldn't interact with each other otherwise. So it's truth or dare, spin the bottle kind of truth or dare thing. Sam spins the bottle and it lands on Deborah. And Sam asks Deborah if Big Brother offered you the prize money right now, the 85,000 pounds right now, but you had to quit and, go home. Would you take the money and leave now, or would you stay until however long you got evicted? And she says, bitch, I'm going to take that money right now. I got a kid. I got a family back at home. Like, I'm going to take that money. Duh. Everyone would have said the same thing. And so Joe gets up and he hugs Deborah, right? That's all he fucking does. He stands up and he hugs Deborah. Then Raph is sitting off to the side like, what did he say? That doesn't mean she's in it for the money, though. That doesn't mean she's in it for the money, though, Joe. Joe, that doesn't mean she's in it for the money. He said it like 4 times. And Joe's like, would you fuck off? Like, fuck off. I'm not even, nothing to do with you. I'm not even talking to you. I'm hugging Deborah. Why are you getting all involved in the fucking, my shit? Then Andrew was like, Joe, chill, Joe, chow, Joe, chow. Like, trying to fucking get involved so hard. It had nothing to do with Andrew. It had nothing to do with Raph. It was about Joe and Hannah. Then Raph got involved, and then fucking Andrew wanted to come over and fucking, look at me, Raph. Look, I'm standing up for you. Look. That's all he was trying to do. Andrew, I liked you when you first came in the house, but don't be going in the house trying to fucking stir shit up. That's what I feel like he's trying to do. I'm gonna get into that later. Chill out, Joel. Joel, chow, Joel, chow out. Joel, chow out, Joel. Andrew, shut the hell up. Joe just straight up ignores Andrew. He like looks at him. He doesn't say anything. He just straight up ignores Andrew. Okay. He leaves it like that. Okay. So for everyone saying Joe, this fucking bully and always attacking people, Joe did not say anything to Andrew at that moment. He let Andrew open his big ass mouth with all fucking his teeth fucking showing and make Joe tell out, and Joe didn't say anything. Joe goes outside. He's like, fuck this dare truth or dare bullshit. He goes outside. He's having a cigarette with Kieran, and he's like, did I do anything wrong? I just went and I hugged Deborah. That's literally. I know people hate Joe. I know everyone hates Joe and want his ass dead, and like, I don't get it. Everyone hates Joe, but it's just like, all Joe did was hug Deborah, and then Raph got involved, and then Andrew got involved, and then Joe told Raph to fuck off. Because fuck off. Like, for real, fuck off. You know what I mean? And Kieran, I can't believe I actually agreed with Kieran for once in my life. Kieran was like, you know what? They're trying to take the piss out of you. They're trying to wind you up. If you react to Raph, you are going to look like the bully, and he's going to look like the innocent victim. That's what Kieran said to Joe, and I was like, straight up. They are trying to wind Joe up so that he has an outburst, and then so that they look like the victim. But it's like, if y'all just leave Joe alone, if you notice, Joe has never gone out of his way to like cause anything, ever. He's always out having a cigarette, then someone comes over to him and starts shit. Even with that shit with Rebecca, Joe was chilling out, smoking a fucking cigarette. Then Rebecca came over to him and was like, so why don't you like me and all this stuff? And he was like, well, you irritate me. Your voice irritates me. Your face irritates me. Everything about you is annoying. Then she got mad and was like, oh, what if it was your daughter? And then that's when the whole thing started. That's how all these things with Joe start. He's minding his own business. Like, let the man have a cigarette and enjoy his fucking cancer stick by himself. Then someone else has to come over and prod and poke and poke and poke and poke at Joe. And they get mad when he fucking starts cussing them out. They're like, oh my God, you're so mean. You're just like, leave him alone then. Leave Joe alone. If you do not like a housemate, then don't fucking talk to them. Leave them the fuck alone. It's not that fucking complicated. Andrew and Raph are in the bedroom, and basically Andrew was just doing, what I just said. He's like, basically saying, Raph, did you see what I just did? Wow, did you see that? Did you just see me standing up for you, Raph? Basically. Raph's like, yeah, packing his cigarette. Yeah, cool, yeah, totally, yeah. Yeah, I don't think you're fake either. While all this was happening, like throughout this episode, and I think the day before or whatever, Chanel has not defended Raph. You know what I mean? She has not come to his side when Joe was bucking at him. She had an opportunity to, that we saw. They were in the garden talking about nominations because Joe's up and Charlotte is up and Tom is up. They were talking about that one-on-one, but not one mention of Raph, not one mention of be nice to Raph or stop picking on Raph or nothing. And it's very interesting that Chanel is staying out of this. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So basically, some more Ellie and Sam bullshit. Ellie gets jealous of Isabel because that's the girl that he was talking about that he kind of fancies or whatever. I don't know how they didn't show any of it, thank God, but somehow she finds out that it's Isabel. She gets jealous of Isabel, and basically they break up. The Ellie and Sam, their little 2 or 3 day showmance, it's done. They broke up, I guess. So then we cut to the scene. It's Joe, Charlotte, and I think Andrew. At first, it was just those 3, Joe, Charlotte, and Andrew, out in the smoking section. And Joe's kind of standing off to the side, not really trying to talk to Andrew because Andrew was just, Joe, chill out, Joe. Joe, chow, Joe, chow. Chill out, Joe. He's not trying to talk to Andrew right now. He's fucking trying to have a cigarette and just fucking not talk to Andrew. Then Andrew goes, Joe, are you in a bad mood or something? Like, I feel like you're disengaged right now. And it's like, no shit, you were just all up in his face talking about, chill out, Joe! And then Andrew keeps fucking going on. He's like, I feel really uncomfortable talking to you. Then why the fuck are you talking to him? Then why the fuck are you talking to him? Andrew is poking Joe. He is trying to get a reaction out of Joe. For anyone who fucking says Joe's a bully and Joe is this, Andrew's trying to get a reaction out of Joe. Okay. He's like, I feel really uncomfortable talking to you. And then Joe's like, well, maybe because this is the second time you've interrupted a conversation that I was having that had nothing to do with you. Andrew's like, no, it's not. And Joe's like, yeah, it is. Yeah, the fuck it is. And basically he's like, look, don't get involved in my conversations and I won't get involved in yours. And Joe tries to walk away, right? He literally turns and he's walking away. Then Andrew goes, but I feel like you don't have to be so high strung. I don't feel like you have to be so high strung. And Joe's like, whatever, kid. Just don't get in my fucking business and I won't get in your business. Let's stay out of each other's way. If you don't like me, then don't like me. Stay over there and I'll stay over here. You don't like me? I don't like you. That kind of thing. Then Joe kind of tries to walk away again. Then he's like, but. Andrew's like, but. Why do you have to be so abrupt? Why do you have to be so abrupt? But. Why do you have to be so abrupt? But. You going but every fucking 5 seconds, you're being abrupt, actually, Andrew. You're the one being abrupt. I don't think Andrew knows what the word abrupt means because he's literally he's the one being abrupt. So he leans over into Andrew's fucking face and he's like, don't get involved in my conversations and I won't get involved in your conversations. And then Tom comes over at this point. Tom is there and he pulls Joe away, right? It wasn't necessary for Tom to pull Joe away at that point. So he's like trying to get Joe away because he can see that Joe's getting worked up because Andrew keeps going on with, but why do you have to be so abrupt? But why do you have to be so high strung? But why are you so abrupt? It's like, let the man fucking walk away. But Andrew kept going and he kept going and Joe's walking away. Then he goes, oh yeah, whatever, okay, my son. Okay, my darling boy, walk away. Grow up, grow up. And Joe's just like, really? My darling son? My darling boy, my son. Joe's like 60 years old. I would never talk to a grown ass man who's old enough to be my father. I would never call him my darling boy or my son. He was trying to be condescending towards Joe to wind him up. Okay, this is not Andrew being being a victim because Joe's a mean bully. Andrew was trying to get a rise out of him so that Joe could buck on him, so that Andrew could say, oh my God, Joe is so mean. He's a bully. He's nasty. How about if he's so nasty and he's so mean, leave the man alone. Leave him alone. So, I already see how this looks. Everyone already hates Joe. The public hate him. Everyone on bots hates the fuck out of Joe. All they do is talk shit about Joe the whole time. Joe's probably going to go home this weekend, or Friday or Thursday. I don't know when eviction is. I think it's back to regular times, right? I think it's back on Friday. Joe's probably going to go home because of how he treats Andrew and how he treats Raph. But the truth is, if y'all don't like Joe, if he's so mean and he's such a bully and he's this negative, mean, old, grumpy man, then stay the fuck away from him. They keep going to him and pushing him and antagonizing him. But Joe gets called the bully and they get called the victim. Because Joe starts cussing them out. And they're like, yeah, that crosses the line. And it's like, well, leave him alone then. Leave Joe alone. If y'all don't like Joe, then leave Joe alone. Fuck. Let him just keep hanging out with Kieran and Tom and whoever the fuck he hangs out with. And y'all just keep hanging out whoever you guys want to hang out with. If you do not like someone in the house, then don't fucking mess with them. You wouldn't poke a lion in the face with a stick, would you? No, because the lion will fucking rip your fucking face off and eat your whole body. So don't go messing around with shit that you know is going to fucking mess with you. You know what I mean? That's my opinion of it. I know everyone hates Joe, like I said. Everyone loves Andrew because they see all... And then after this all happened, Andrew was like, am I wrong? Was I wrong? And they're all like, no! Andrew, no, you were so right about... No, he was wrong. Joe was wrong. You were right. Oh my God, everything you say is right. You were right. Not at all. We're all so proud of you, Andrew. Oh my God, I can't believe you just stood up to Joe like that. Like, wow. Like, it's like Joe was out here minding his own business. I can't stress that enough. I cannot stress that enough. Joe was having a cigarette and he tried to walk away twice. And Andrew just kept, but you're being so abrupt. But it's like... Andrew, stop, dude. It's obvious what you're trying to do. You're trying to show off for Raph. You're trying to get on Raph's good side so maybe y'all can make out or have a little showman, so whatever. Just stop. Stop. You went in there already disliking Joe from what you have seen in the public, from how he talks to Raph. That's all you're trying to do. It's nothing... You know what I mean? He's trying to fucking push Joe's buttons. I have to say that again and again and again. So then Joe goes in the diary room. And keep in mind, Big Brother did not intervene at all. Big Brother was not like, Joel, please step away from Andrew. Please go in the diary room. Joe walked away on his own accord, went into the diary room, did not cuss him out, nothing. He went to the diary room and was like, you see what they're doing, right? You saw what just happened, right? Why do they always have to start shit with me? And then Andrew and the whole house basically at this point are outside and Andrew's still going on. And he's like, I will never get aggressive or angry. He just got aggressive with Joe. He's like, I will never get aggressive or angry in this house. And I will always stand up for what's right. I know what's right and I know what's wrong. It's like, Andrew, you're not self-righteous, dude. Well, I don't think everyone else clocked what you just did, but I just clocked what you just did. I clocked you. That's basically these past 2 days in the house. Do I think Joe is a homophobe? No, I don't. I'm a gay guy. I have the fucking tattoo to prove it. Okay, I'm gay. I'm queer, gay, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Homosexual, homo, whatever. I'm gay, okay? I do not think Joe is a homophobe. I think it's a convenient name to call him because yes, he does have a problem with Raph, and now he has a problem with Andrew. He did not have a problem with Andrew before, but now he does. So I think it's a convenient title. It's a convenient slur to call him, and it is a slur. Calling someone a homophobe is a slur. Calling someone a faggot is also a slur, and so is calling someone a nigger. That's a slur too, if you're not like black. But I think it's convenient. I think it's a like buzzwordy title, or I think it's a buzzword. It's a buzzword. Calling someone a homophobe, it'll get you some likes on Twitter. You know what I mean? It'll get you some retweets or whatever. But I don't think Joe is a homophobe. We have seen how much of Joe? Like, it's been 4 weeks. It's been a month. They've been in the house for a month now. And if Joe was a homophobe, he would have slipped up at least one time. He would have called someone a sissy, or he would have said no homo, you know how that, no homo, or he would have called someone gay, like in a derogatory way, you know, that person's, or so-and-so, that's so gay, or that's gay, or whatever. He would have done that, or he would have called someone a faggot, or accidentally would have slipped out. Nothing. It's been a month. Nothing, not a peep of homophobness has come out of Joe. Nothing at all. And you know Big Brother doesn't play that homophobe shit. You know they don't play that shit because like half the people who watch the show are gay guys anyway. So you know if Big Brother had a feeling that Joe was a homophobe, they would have warned him. They would have been like, look, you said this and this and this. That's your first warning. Have another, do it again and you'll be kicked out of the house or whatever. Nothing like that has happened. Nothing. Is Joe a homophobe? No. Just because he doesn't like Raph and now he doesn't like Andrew, y'all want to call him a homophobe? No, it's okay. If y'all don't like him, then okay, don't like him then. Don't like him, but don't call him a fucking homophobe. He's not a homophobe. The second thing I wanted to talk about was, look, I love Rylan. I like Rylan more than I like Emma. Oops, can't believe I just said that. But I do. I like Rylan more than I like Emma, and I love bots. I fucking love bots. But I don't know how I feel about them always calling Sue Hurricane Sue. I would be lying if I sat here and said that I wasn't a little offended each time they called Sue Hurricane Sue. Why do they call her Hurricane Sue? I mean, I get the Toya thing. Actually, I didn't even get that because on her season, Helen Wood's season with Toya never was a hurricane even on her season. So I kind of don't even get that. And it's just like, are y'all calling her Hurricane Sue because she's black? And you guys think that she was going to go in the house being all loud and up in people's faces and all this shit and causing a shitstorm? So is that why y'all called her Hurricane Sue? Okay, I get that. But why do they keep still calling her Hurricane Sue? We see that Sue is not going to be the type to cause a big scene or cause a fight or cause an argument or do any of that. So why do they keep, literally on last night's bots, Rylan kept calling her Hurricane Sue. And it's the thing, it's like, it's a marketable term. It looks good on Twitter. It's a good hashtag. It gets you retweets, it gets you likes or whatever. But like I said, I would be lying a little bit if I said I wasn't somewhat offended by them keep calling her Hurricane Sue. Like hurricane, who wants to be called a hurricane? A hurricane isn't a good thing. You don't want a hurricane. They're not calling her, oh, nice Sue or pretty Sue or smart Sue. They're calling her Hurricane Sue, which is, it's derogatory. Like hurricanes are not a good thing. Hurricanes suck. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just don't like that hurricane title. So, I mean, that's basically it. That's all I wanted to talk about. Joe is not a homophobe in my opinion. And this is coming from a gay guy. Yeah, I don't think he's a homophobe. And I don't think they should be calling Sue Hurricane Sue. Thank you for watching. If you've watched this far, how long is this? Oh, it's normal length long for these videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll be making another video on, after eviction. Thank you. Bye.